Jakee, what's up?
What's going on?
Chilling. You mind putting it a little bit closer?
Yeah.
If you want, you could just move the whole arm.
Oh, okay,
Honestly,
fine.
yeah. So we were just at your shop. You opened up a shop on. Yeah, just tell us about it.
152nd and Frederick Douglass. It's been open for 2 months now. It's just to fill the void up there. Obviously, you have a store downtown, you have a store in Brooklyn, you have a couple in Queens, but there was nothing up there to service the people from that area. So instead of them going here or there, why not just fill that void? And luckily, like I was saying before we started filming, I didn't realize that the area itself is very creative. So I've had a lot of locals walking in. Everybody's an artist. Everybody wants to tap that creativity inside of them, especially with all this extra time on their hands.
Yeah, especially like you were talking like before we started this, how you're starting to appeal to more people, just like regular artists, not only just graffiti writers.
Right.
Like you're starting to get supplies that like basic artistic like supplies.
Right, not just paint and markers or books like micro pens, calligraphy pens. I even have Crayola stuff for the young kids, rulers, pencils, just things that people have walked in asking for. Acrylic paint, not just like the actual like for canvases, but like fun colors like for kids to play with. So just really filling the needs of the area, which I didn't expect. So I kind of lucked out. When I say that to people, I'm like, oh, I didn't realize the creativity. They're like, it's Harlem, but I'm from Queens. I don't know anything about anywhere else. But luckily, it's been working out.
So initially, it was just going to be a graffiti shop.
Yeah.
And then as organically, you started realizing that there were other opportunities in that area and ways that you could help that area itself.
Yeah. Like we even had an airbrush event a couple weeks ago. And it wasn't even, it was successful, but it was successful with people from the area. Like they're still coming in because that area likes that kind of stuff. But it wasn't like I had graph writers coming in saying, hey, I want airbrushing, because we don't. But the people from the area liked it and have been thankful for it.
Yeah, and it's interesting because like the time we're in now, like this whole pandemic, like you said, people have time now. A lot of people are out of work and they can work on like creative endeavors.
And everybody's an artist, and they all want to tap that inner creativity that they all had but never had the time to explore.
In terms of the opening up a shop during a pandemic, wasn't that like a huge risk? Because essentially a lot of businesses are like hanging on by a thread if you ask them, like small businesses. So you opening up one is a risk, and it seems like it's doing well.
Well, I ended up signing the lease before the pandemic. Like it ended up happening in February, so the pandemic happens in March. Things got pushed out. But again, I think because of like restaurants are closing, cleaners are closing, stuff like that, because nail places are closing because they don't have that customer because people aren't out. But people are still looking to be creative and looking for the tools to be creative. So instead of going to 125th to catch a Blix or ordering stuff online, they want to be able to just literally to come downstairs from their building and come in the store. And that's what they do. So had it been something else, I would have been suffering, but it was the perfect thing actually at the perfect time.
Yeah, it is, honestly, because like you said, everybody's creative, everybody's trying to do their own thing. In that moment, like I was seeing a bunch of people on Instagram when the pandemic first happened. It's like, what are you going to do? You're stuck inside, you're bored. Like either you're going to do something like work out in your crib, but you can't do that all day long, you know what I mean? And it feels good to be able to make a canvas, make a painting, like, or whatever it is you're doing. If you're doing like scribes on a mirror, whatever you're doing, even if you're just doing graph, like it's something that you can do during the pandemic. So yeah, I guess essentially your business just fit right into that.
Yeah, it kind of was perfect timing in a weird way. I mean, literally I had a lady walk in yesterday saying, this is going to be my store. I'm going to come here, because she's just looking to fill that void. She's like, I haven't done this, but I want to start trying to do this. I mean, there's only so much there's only so much Netflix and drinking and smoking you can do. You know what I'm saying? You have to kind of tap into other things.
Sometimes sometimes I don't think of like, if I see All City Legends or Scrapyard or Paradise Plus, whatever, any graph shop, in my mind, I'm like a person who is just doing like an artistic mission or an artistic project was not going to come here. In my mind, I'm like, people are going to come here for chrome, and they're going to come here for black that can go over that chrome and a mop.
But that's why I'm trying to be different.
Exactly.
Because I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. You know what I'm saying? Scrapyard's been there for 30 years. Lowbrow's been there for a long time. All the White's been there for a long time. But the difference between me and them is, first, we have the sticker machine. So we're able to have people do personalized stickers, both eggshells and vinyls. The mop bar, build your own mop. In times like this, it's about kind of new experiences and creating. So the mop art gives you that opportunity to create a color that nobody else has. I mean, I've had people start and be like, and then they're like, oh, this is fun, you know, because they're creating something and it's like something they haven't done maybe for X amount of years because they grew up and just got lazy and started buying a certain brand. And to your point also, like just having other artistic things besides paint. So you have like certain pens maybe that another craft store wouldn't have, or just other things because we're just trying to be different, but still cater to everybody.
I think the mop bar thing, just for people who don't know, who are listening to this, so essentially on the side of your shop, you have like a whole segment where you got the empty mop bottles.
Yeah.
Empty marker bodies that you can mix inks or paints or whatever it is, and you can make your own mop. You can just decide the color and all that stuff. I think that's really cool because, better than we do about back before all these graph shops existed, before you could buy stuff off our Primo, people would make their shit.
Right.
They would use like Marsh Tea grade and mix it with Garvey and put
and
that
get
shit
gritty.
in.
You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? And they would get gritty. Now it's just about because graph has evolved and we've all kind of, not all of us, but a lot of us have become entrepreneurs and created and built off graph, like graph off crink, like crink.
Yeah.
For example, he found a niche and he was part of the movement and he built off of it and now he's successful off of it. So it's the same idea except now just kind of doing it on your own and getting back to the basics of graph, like just getting down and dirty.
And if you think about it, like, for example, you walk into a Blick and I've heard people be like, oh, yo, like you can't rack from there anymore. They locked down all the crinks, or they locked down they locked down all the crinks. They locked down all the markers. And I'm like, thinking about it from this perspective, I'm like, yo, but when people first started writing in New York, there was no crink to lock down.
Right.
And like the insides of trains would still be smoked.
Yeah.
Because they would make them. So this is like almost not irrelevant because it's part of our society today, but it could be irrelevant if you look at it from that view. It's like, we're lucky crinks. This is like an extra. This is like a Christmas present.
Right.
The rest of it, it's like you can make it yourself.
Well, even like the caps, we used to take them off easy off bottles. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't get them $2 or $3 for $1. You know what I'm saying? We didn't go to a craft store to buy them. We took them off stuff in a hardware store. We took them off the shelters of a supermarket. You know, but I think it's just the mop art itself. First, I don't take credit for it. Elsker GB, it was all his idea. He created it, and it's really been. People come in, and when you break it down to them what it is, everybody's in awe that they get to make something of their own again. You know what I'm saying? And again, it's a color that you can go basic and do black or white or silver, but you can get creative and do like a baby blue or a pink. But it's going to be a color that nobody else has, and you created it. And with everything in life, I think a lot of us kind of want to have something exclusive. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't all want to rock the same shirt. You don't, you and your friends, like you all kind of want to have your own in some way. So it's allowing you to have something that's your own and something you made. And at an affordable price. It's only $10.
No, it's amazing the way you're doing it. Like you're bringing that like creativity to it because like you said,
it's bringing the gritty back to graph. You know what I'm saying? It's real graph.
There's so many shops and so many websites where you get to choose like a standard color that everybody's already seen.
Right.
So not everybody's used to like, having their own unique, like essentially like somebody, their whole career could be like a custom color they made and they just go around doing a tag with that specific color and they could be known just for that. And it's because of your shop, because they created that.
Right.
It's really cool.
It's just going back to the fundamentals of what it was back then. Yeah. Not that it's a bad thing the way things are now, because some of us just want to be catered to and just be given the item and just, not go in that route. But there's other people that want to have the tools available to them and just do it. So
I think it's amazing.
Sloppy, dirty graph. You know what I'm saying? Like you want the gritty shit. You want to be able to get your hands dirty. You know.
It's amazing because just aside from the whole mop thing, just like you opening up a shop thing, to me that's very inspiring because with my family and like the opinions that were surrounding me growing up, in my mind, like someone who grows up, like let's say boosting paint or boosting clothes, painting in the streets, could never open up your own business and have a physical shop like anywhere, never mind like anywhere in Manhattan. Like you can't do that.
Yeah, because when you think of a graph writer, sorry to interrupt you, you don't think of someone who's smart, you don't think of someone who's capable or that can form sentences or have a conversation with someone who has an actual white collar job. You think of someone who has baggy pants and can't speak properly and like just uneducated and are bums. and you don't think of a graph writer as someone who can build something, you know. And I'm not saying I'm the first to do it, but it's like we can all leave a different legacy besides just writing on the wall. And there's nothing, because graffiti is what got me here, but there's other legacies we can build off graph. Because I remember when I, you know, first got into graph, who would have thought this is where I'd be now? Not even 5 years ago did I think I'd be doing this 5 years later. But you want to do something, you want to leave a different legacy, you know, like you guys are leaving your legacy by doing this. This is your legacy in some way.
Yeah, honestly, I don't even think about it like that. But you know, as time goes on, like you never know, like you know
Where
what I
this
mean?
is gonna go.
Exactly.
You guys could have like, you know, a syndicated place where you're like in other states, and you know you're being sponsored, and you're bigger than this, and you're in a studio. It's just about building and growing as a person, and that's with anything we do in life. But if we have something that we've been doing for 30 years, why not make it big and legitimate?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely. I mean, like what I was getting to is like one thing that a lot of graffiti writers do hold in common. You know, some of them, like you said, are thought of as people who don't know how to speak well, who can't talk to someone who has this white collar job. Like you're not on the same plane, so you couldn't relate and shit like that.
You're a bum.
Which sometimes it is true.
Yeah,
like I'm not gonna be like, no, I'm like, sometimes it's true, but one thing is that like a graffiti writer usually becomes obsessed with what they're doing. So if they could apply that same obsession and like, no, I'm gonna do this, like I'm gonna stay on point with this one thing and channel it in a different way, they could potentially, like, you know, that's how you reach success in anything, like straight up like consistent hard work. Like people talk about like All City, funny enough, all the time. Yep. And they're like, you talk about like, they're like, oh, longevity, consistency, like not just like 1 year and then you're out. But it's like, if you talk, like the same thing could be said, like if you want to go to medical school or whatever you want to do, it's like, yeah, consistency,
commitment,
hard work, 24/7, like no faking. You're actually doing this. And then 2, graffiti writers are like very resourceful because you can lock down the cage, they find out the code. You can do this, they do this. So they're aware of like, oh, this is something I feel like an average person doesn't do in their mind at
they
the
don't
moment.
think outside the box.
Yeah, once like this line is set, they're like, okay, the only way we can go past this line is like doing what the person who put that line there says.
Right. We think outside the box. We think, okay, this wire, how am I going to get through this gate? How am I going to get through this fence? You know what I'm saying? Can I go under? Can I go around? Can I go above? Whereas somebody might just see, I can't get past this fence. You know, we're capable of, again, thinking outside the box. How am I going to get there? How am I going to get that done? How am I going to get the hot spot? How am I going to go up to the high spot? Am I going to climb it? Am I going to get this tool? Even though they may not be book smart, graffiti writers are still street smart. And we figure out how to make it done, how to make it happen.
Yeah, it's like going back to the podcast thing. Like, we're giving a voice to people that essentially, like you said, at first appearance would look like, oh, they're all tattooed up, baggy clothes. But once you hear them speak, they're like intelligent people, and they have amazing ideas you can learn from, and amazing stories, and like not only crazy stories, but like what they've learned from it. You know, like we've spoken to so many people where they told us like rowdy upbringings, you know, but now they're like on a different wave because they've seen what that was about, and now they're all about like peace and manifestation and
a lot
shit.
of people will tell you that graph saved their life, you know what I'm saying, because maybe they had issues at home and they weren't home, they were out in the street, and instead of maybe robbing or getting high, they chose graph. Like growing up as a chick, you know, I of course I went clubbing, of course I did things, but my night out was going bombing, you know. So it's just, it saved a lot of people. It could have saved a lot of people's lives in some places. It could have ruined a lot of people's lives. But it's just another form, or like another, like you said before, like medical school, like something that people, a niche, something that people kind of latch onto, and you make of it what you want. Like I could have had graph bring me in a million different directions, but it brought me here, and graph brought you guys here, so it can elevate you, you know.
What do you think it did, honestly, for your life when you were younger and throughout the years as you've grown into who you are now? What do you think that its purpose served in your life? Because I was recently talking to a writer, just like on the show, and they were talking about how, you know, if you're really real deal into graph and you're trying to be like, have like a graph career type of thing, then it's like a full-time job. Like, it's like you're doing night shifts essentially, and like and like he was talking about how when he sees people who are super up, I'm talking like king status, he thinks to himself like, A, that's sick, and also B, like, I wonder what's going on in their life, because for him it was like a release, like a therapy.
Yeah.
So when
I think it happens as we get older.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to interrupt you, because when I was younger, I did it for fun. I did it for fame. I did it for ups. But I feel like as I get older, it's more of a release. It's more of a stress release. And I think that kind of changes because I remember like Scuff saying like, you know, we're just robots, but it gives us the opportunity to kind of break away from our everyday routine as adults. But when we're younger, we don't have a routine. You know what I'm saying? Graph is just part of the hangout. It's part of like everybody you're hanging out with. But to go back to what you were saying about what is that person thinking if they became a king, or somebody that went all city, like what motivated them or what pushed them to do that? Because it's a lot of work. It literally is a 7-night, whatever it is, day job, 365 for years to get to that status. It could just be the challenge of them wanting to get that crown. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be like, I want this crown. I want to be seen by everybody. That's what I want. It could be because they have a fucked up home life. It could be because they have nothing going for them. Or maybe they have everything going for them. That's just the extra piece that they want for their life. I think growing up for me, I just did it. I remember the moment I was telling you earlier when I first noticed Graph. I was on Broadway by Elmer's Hospital. I remember seeing 78 Street Boys. And I remember looking at it and just recognizing it for the first time and realizing it exists. And I want to say I was about 11 or 12 years old. Caught my first marker tag probably like within a year later, and then paint, you know, a year after that. I don't count those years, but they all add up to the entire career of what I've done or what I have. PC Kid was like one of the first writers I met. Didn't even know he was PC Kid. NATO, Bruise. Before we were even who we are now, or before we had our names, we were just kids from the area. So I don't even know. I lost my train of thought, but just kind of thinking of the first moment I saw it and what motivated me to do it was just seeing it and just becoming interested in it.
You've taken there was a period of time where you took some time off. When you took that time off, what made you stop? Like there was a moment where you're doing your thing. There's a moment when you step back, and I noticed that's like not everybody does that, but a lot of people do that. Like they like to. It's not something that they can be constant. Was there a specific reason for that?
Life, just kind of life. Getting had my son at 30, was still not bombing, but like still, it wasn't you today, but we were talking about like when canvases first came out, because in the 90s we didn't do canvases, we did black books, and then canvases started coming out like in early 2000. I want to say maybe like 03ish, 04. I remember Webb just being at Clark's house all day with Webb and just hitting canvas after canvas, and Webb with canvas and books. So life kind of stopped for me to go bombing, but I was always still very active with that. And then I'd say about 7 years ago, back in like 14, I guess you could say midlife shit, but kind of threw myself back in and started bombing hard and just getting back into it. And like I said before, when I was younger, I did it for fun, but as I do it now, it's kind of more of a stress release. And I think looking back now at that 7 years ago, life just became really heavy. And I think I went back to something that I always enjoyed doing, because at that moment in my life, even though I had a good life and I still have a good life, I missed being Jakee. Yeah. I was too busy being Jacqueline or Jakee, but not double E. And I wanted to get back to that. So the last 7 years, I went from going nuts in the street, fucking wilding out, to slowly finding my place again, but doing it in a way where it's calmer. You know what I mean? I'm not out there fucking dumb shit, and just elevated it.
When you were painting when you were younger, was it just straight up like, fuck this shit? Like, was it on some I don't care about a look. I don't care about anything. I'm gonna just walk down the street and like bang, 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 bang.
It was more strategic when I was younger. I feel like that more now, to be honest with you. You know, when I was like now, like when I was younger, I didn't do daytime bombing. You know, now I'm home by like 11 or 12 after doing shit, after just doing tags or whatever I've done. I'm already in bed. Whereas when I was younger, I would leave my house at that time. It was much more strategic. We already knew what the spots, like I'm doing this, this, and this tonight. Now I'm just like, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just gonna walk around and just and do it. So yeah, I think it's actually reversed for me. I think now I'm on some more fucking shit where back then it was a more.
Why now are you on some more fucking shit? Are you not, just out of curiosity, are you not worried about getting arrested?
I mean, it's always a worry for somebody, but to be honest, I'm really more into mean streaks and stickers at this point. I don't want to say in my career or in my life. I just really love walking around and just doing like the nitty stuff, side stuff. I don't want to be in a car, get out and do all that. I want to just walk around for miles and
Your
just
freedom.
yeah, just and talk shit, like be with a homegirl and just like blah 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 blah, and just be free and just hang out.
Yeah.
Whereas with paint, I don't really feel like that's as possible. Of course, I still do shit with paint, but I'm just really more about that part right now because I want to have more social time and just chill.
Yeah.
I want to chill.
No, absolutely. Like
You said, freedom. Like, I want to just like be, take that deep breath, you know, walk around, have a drink, and just be like, fuck it.
Exactly. Like the whole, you know, it's cool, but the whole get in the car,
It's
you
work.
plan out this whole mission. It's like there are times in that if you actually analyze it, you're not even enjoying yourself.
No, it's
yeah.
work.
You're arguing with your friend. You said this. Why didn't you see this?
Yeah.
Or park there, or
Yeah,
do this.
park,
Why you
yeah.
stop the car? Stop the
Park
car.
the car over there instead.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to like you're just freely walking on the street, bang, bang,
Yeah.
bang, and
And nobody bothers you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do this at 5, 6 in the afternoon, in the evening. Like, nobody cares if I'm catching a meeting. Nobody cares if I'm putting up a sticker, especially some chick. So I just find that the last couple of years I've been enjoying doing that more than anything else.
Yeah. No, graffiti can potentially like truly save, and it has saved lives. I
Yeah, it
think
has.
because, like, just think about it. If you're going through some type of crisis, and you're like alone essentially in the world, like you don't really have anyone to talk to about like what you're going through, right? So you wake up at like 1 a.m. and you have a bag full of paint, and you go out and do that. You walk around and release that tension in that way instead of shooting up some shit or like doing drugs or like, you know, potentially like losing your mind.
It's like a release. Like, literally, I'm sure you guys understand. Like, you wake up the next day and you feel like accomplished.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I did this, I did that. Like, you feel like a weight's been lifted off your shoulders.
Yeah, I've said this a few times. It's like if you don't sleep all night and you go to work the next morning after painting, you essentially can have energy from just catching a bunch of spots, and like that'll keep you awake.
It's a high. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people have everybody has their vices. They have drugs, they have alcohol, they have shopping, they have eating, and they have graffiti. Yeah. You know, and nobody should shit on you for your vices. I had a kind of confrontation yesterday with somebody about that, where it's like, you know, this person wants to shit on somebody because of their vice was drugs. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, let their vice be their vice. Unless it's like obviously like a family member where it's actually affecting your life. But if that's their vice, if graffiti's your vice, and this is what we're doing with that, we only live one life. You might as well do it the way you want to do it. So when you look back, it's like, nobody's going to hold me down. Nobody's going to tell me I'm not going to do that. You know, but again, for other people, graph has ruined their lives too. You know what I'm saying? Because they made it such a focus where they didn't do anything else with themselves. Yeah. The whole life is boosting all day or bombing all night, and that's it.
Yeah. Sems said it in an interview, like an old one. He's like,
who?
Sems. He said in an old interview, he was like drinking a 40, how he's made so many sacrifices for graffiti.
Yeah.
He's lost like relationship girls.
Yeah.
Because he was like, yo, what are you telling me what to do? Like, I'm fucking Sems. Like, you can't tell me what to do.
Because
like,
you
I'm
take that mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You take that, I am this person's mentality. I'm Jakee. I'm this person. How dare you speak to me this way? Like, you know, do you know who I am? But it's like, I fucking write on walls. But it's like, do you know how much work that I put into becoming this person? You know, it didn't just happen overnight. It didn't just happen because I put up a few stickers. Or I put up a couple of tags. I sacrificed shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, instead of hanging out with my homegirls or in relationships or doing whatever, I was doing that. That's what I chose to do. And to still be doing it 30 something years later is insane. Like, I would have never thought. I remember Tech saying one point, like, I was always gonna be Jakee. He was always gonna be Jack, and I'm just like, dude, I'm 20 years old, and 20 years this ain't gonna be happening. And like, seriously, look where I'm at now. What a freaking graph store. Yeah. You know, still living the life and learning off of it.
Yeah. Well, you say that like you say that like nobody's gonna. You were saying like I'm gonna do my own thing. You have this one life. Let your vice be your vice.
Yeah.
When you started writing graph, were people like, nah, like you're a female, like you can't be writing graph? Like everybody's like, or they were super supportive.
Even like homegirls would hang out with me and hook me up. Like they'd be like, hook me up. My homegirls who don't bomb, who have no interest in graph. I have about 5 tight homegirls. None of them are graph writers. Have all been bombing with me. Have all been lookouts.
Oh, they'll go out with you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have all been lookouts for me. When I came back out 6-7 years ago, whatever, one of my homegirls, lawyer, drove the car. I was like, I want to hit the spot. I want to like, this is going to be it. And we had to find out how to get there. She's waiting in the car for me. I went and did the outline on the highway, came back, and she has nothing to do with it. But they've all been very supportive. Yeah. You know, even as of recently, like I became cool with a girl a few years ago, and, you know, she's super supportive. So they're all just, nobody's ever said, you know, what are you doing or any of that. No. Even recently, the last few years, my own kids, no. I have teenage or preteen kids. Sounds like I have a lot of them. I only have 2. Like kids, like I have a whole freaking tribe. But even they're aware of it. So, and it took me a while to open up that door because I was like, oh, they can't know. It's not right. But I was like, this is what am I doing? I get that it's wrong, but it's not wrong.
How did you tell them? Like, come here, you open up.
Because I kept trying to put fucking stickers up, and, you know, they were younger. I'm like, yo, just walk ahead. Like, I'm like trying to tie my shoe and trying to do some slick shit. And then finally they were like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm putting fucking stickers up. Like, can you just walk up ahead and just like mind your bit? But they ended up just being in the business. And so I mean, now it is what it is.
But talking about your shop, like, have you ever had an experience where like someone would walk in and like ask you, I don't know, like say how like graffiti is kind of vandalism, or it's like maybe a negative thing,
and you're selling this product.
Yeah,
no.
like no.
Nobody. The community's been super supportive. I think it was a really good location because they're accepting. They're not gonna just. I'm not in some white suburban area where it's not. And I also made sure not to have that happen. You know what I'm saying? I can't be in Bayside or Whitestone.
So you chose this area specifically.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't want to step on anybody else's toes with any other locations. I'm from Queens. It could have been in Queens. That would have made obviously the most sense, which is what I envisioned. And then I just realized it didn't make sense because it's already saturated. They've already got a couple of stores. So I chose Uptown Harlem because there's nobody else up there.
Yeah.
How was the process of making this happen? Like, so when did you decide, okay, I'm going to open up this graph shop? And then from there, you got to get all these permits. You got to, like, I know if you're doing an LLC, you have to publish in the paper for 6 weeks straight. You got to do blah, blah, blah. Like,
you got to get a certificate of fitness. You have to get clearance from the FDNY. You have to get tax clearance. Like, there's just...
so there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. Definitely behind the scenes, there's a lot to do. But, I mean, I can't complain. It's been pretty smooth. I'm from a wholesale world, so I kind of knew logistically what to do, but I asked the right questions and I can't complain. It's been fine. I think, and as far as finding the spot, it was actually the first location I saw. A realtor took me somewhere. I was very clear, close to the train, and that's what it is. And first spot, I was like, this is it. Looked at a couple more. I was like, nah. The one thing that it's missing was I really kind of wanted a wall attached to it to have people come and do something. And like I told you earlier, the goal is to get the wall that's across the street. So hopefully when it warms up, I should have that going as well.
So you just had like some money, I'm assuming you had some money saved, collected money from different funds that you could, and then you used it to then open up the shop. You learned about all the processes that you had to learn about, and then you just did it.
Yeah.
Do you think...
It took a while though for me mentally to get there because it's you know, change is scary for people, especially when you get older. Like, you know, when you're in your 20s, is it scary? Yeah, but not as scary as it is when you're in your 40s, especially when it could be like your life savings. So, I mean, it took me time to mentally get there, to make like the call to the realtor, then to actually make the appointments, and then to actually sign the lease. But it happened gradually.
What do you think to somebody who's hearing this, who might be my age or maybe younger, and they're like, I want to open up my own shit one day? Do you think that it's something that anybody could do, or is?
Of course, as long as you it's just about having the balls, I guess, to do it, and the finances. But I guess the finances are probably easier than having the balls.
You think
because this is your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is my commitment. This is me working. Even if I'm not at the store, I'm still working. I'm still, reordering. I'm still looking into something. I'm following up with a message or an email. This is 7 days. This is nonstop. But I've been lucky enough to have my brother help me out. He's there holding the store down when I'm not. Good to have family involved. You can trust. But it's definitely something that anybody can do. Not to sound like the corny, if I can do it, anybody can do that whole quote, but it's like, it's true.
Well, when you own your own business, you're working literally 24/7. Nonstop.
Yeah.
Which
it's
I
nonstop.
don't think a lot of people, you hear that, but they don't really understand like how nonstop it is.
It's nonstop. Like I said, I'm checking emails, I'm checking DMs. That's work. You know what I'm saying? Even if I'm in the store and people are there, even if they're not buying anything, I'm still working. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm still there and I have to cater to people and their questions, or just even like entertain them.
Your mind is always running.
It's always, even like when I wake up in the morning, it's just like, what do I have to do? What's happening at night? What am I doing? It's nonstop. I just work all the time, and I'm fine with that.
Do you ever get overwhelmed with like either you're on your phone like ding ding ding, like new people coming in, people calling you, can I come in for this? Just when I was there today chilling for like 3 hours, like people are coming in like, yo, I want to do this, yo, I have this for you, yo, I got this new product, yo, it's in. And I'm assuming at the same time there's DMs coming in, you guys got this, you guys got that, oh, can I come in at this time, what time you guys open? Then you're talking to people to get maybe this brand of paint, or you want this new book, or you want this, and there's so much
It's
going on.
It's a lot of information, and it's a lot of, but I love being busy. I'm not the type of person that just stays home and watches Netflix and shows. I mean, the pandemic made me a Netflix watcher, but other than that, like, I always like to be busy, always like to be doing something. I'm always doing something, even before the store. I'm always going somewhere, talking to somebody, just even mentally growing as a person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of course, there's off days, but I mean, don't you want to be something? Don't you want to get things done? Don't you want to every day think about the progression you made from where you were last week to where you are now? Like, maybe you had a list of 20 things to do. Maybe you did 12 of them. You're like, that's progress. That's you getting ahead in your life, personally, professionally, whatever way, spiritually, whatever it is. You keep moving ahead. If you're just gonna go to work and come home, what are you doing? You're just living, but you're not really living. You're not living to the potential of what you want. Don't you want to do something or make? I don't want to say make a difference, but you know what I'm saying. Like, who the fuck wants to just go to work every day and come home?
Well,
don't you want to do something different?
Yeah, I mean, and that's also the beautiful thing about running your own business, because although you are working every day, you have like a deeper purpose, because this is totally centralized to what you want to do. Like, you're deciding, I want a mop thing. You're deciding, I want to do this like airbrush thing for the community, that even though they're not graphic, it's all shit that it's not like some guy saying or some girl saying, like your boss, like, you have to care about this lesson because, and you're like, fucking kill me now.
Right.
Because I actually really don't care about this, but I actually really need this money.
Yeah, I'm only here to catch the paycheck.
You're devoid of purpose. So even though you're working your ass off, like, your purpose isn't there.
Right.
And like, what is life? Like you said, like, are you just living?
Right. I want to, again, make a difference. It's such a corny phrase, but it's like, I'm not saying I want to make a difference in the world, but I want to make a difference in my world. You know what I mean? Like, I want to leave something. I don't want to just like live. I don't want to be born, live, and die. Yeah. I want to be like, when I'm dead, someone's still talking about it. Oh, she did that. Yeah. This was created. This was made because of her.
I feel the same way, because I work in the construction business. Like, I'm a plumber.
Yeah.
And I work with a lot of people that I see, like, in their eyes, they don't have any creative endeavors after work.
No, they're too tired. They go home. They're exhausted. Their back hurts.
It's also too hard, and it's too risky. Which it might be.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, you were saying, I was looking on some of your captions. You were talking about how, like, something, it's not easy, but things that are worth having, like everybody says, but it's
never are.
They're not that easy.
No.
It's not. That's why, like, after work, that's why, like, I drive out here to Queens. I make this work. Like, it's a creative endeavor. Like, I really care about this. Like, I do something else on the side, like training martial arts. Like, I don't want just work to be. I don't want work to just be my main thing. Because before you know it, 40 years goes by, and that's all you did. And
it goes by like this.
It goes by so quick.
But isn't anything that's hard worth having? I'm talking about like relationships, friendships. An item, let's say an item costs a few hundred, but you worked hard to get that item. Don't you appreciate it more than just having the money and be like, working hard for something and just striving for it and making it a goal and then achieving it. Even if it fails, even if this fails for me in 5, 6, 10 years, maybe it doesn't work out, but at least I did it and it was a fun ride.
And it's something really cool to have done.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't want your life, if someone asks you like, yo, what's some of the cool shit you've done with your life? You don't want to be like, kind of nothing. I went to like this country once.
Right.
Yeah. And it's like, nah, like I did this, and this. And not even just so you can say that, but just so you know that the life experiences you've had are worth something to you. Like, the thing is, another thing with having a small business, or even if it's not small, just having your own business is, or not even just having your own business, but any project that you want to do, I feel like it takes a lot of visualization, because that day that, let's say you decide, I'm going to make this graph shop doesn't exist. Maybe you don't know where you're going to get the money from. You don't know maybe nothing about the legal process or who you're going to talk to. But in your mind, you have this graph shop. Maybe you tell someone and they're going to be like, well, they're going to see every problem with it. How are you going to get this? What if no one comes in? Rent is going to be OD. Well, you're going to be in Manhattan. Good luck with rent.
Right.
What if you blah, blah, blah? And then every single thing. And then you have to have the security of yourself and your own hard work and dedication and your vision to be like, nah, I'm going to make it happen regardless of what you say. Because, of course, anything I want to do, there's going to be fucking problems.
Right. Anything, any business, anything is never going to be smooth getting there. Even if you want to go to another country, you have to get your passport. That's a pain in the ass. No. Isn't everything a pain in the ass? Getting up in the morning, going to work is a pain in the ass. But make it your pain in the ass. You know what I'm saying? Or make it a pain in the ass that at least when you go to sleep at night, it was a pain, but I enjoyed it. Or it meant something to me or to you. Even people coming into the store, like I have people coming to the store saying, thank you for being here all the time. Thanks for opening up here. Thanks for doing this for the community. Wow. So it's not like I'm just doing it for me, or it's like I'm not even just doing it for the graph writers. I'm doing it for everybody around. I want to do something for the kids in the area because, they may not have it as good as everybody else, but let's have some events for an hour or two a week. Maybe you didn't get to do this. Maybe you didn't get to hang out with kids your age because your parents are incapable or just don't want to. Just, just giving back and doing something. Again, super corny. I'm just trying to be happy. No, and I'm just 100%. Trying to make everybody around me happy with me.
No, it seems like you have like a genuine vision with the shop, because it's not like just another like Blick art store, like gentrifying the place. Like, you truly are about community. That's what it sounds like. You truly care about these people. Yeah.
And I'm learning about what they want. I'm even learning more about graph, because the last few years graph itself has changed. Adapters. What the fuck was an adapter 6, 7 years ago? We didn't have that. You got up and you went. But like I said, I'm trying to be happy and literally make everybody around me happy with me. So
how much satisfaction does it give you to be able to truly work on your own shit? I'm assuming that this business takes up a huge portion of your time in life now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But since it's your own thing, I can also assume that it's not like, let's say that you were working, doing something you hated. If that shit consumed even 60% of your life, you're going to be like, oh my God, this is so much.
Yeah.
But since even if this consumes 99% of your life, since it's something you actually care about, how much satisfaction do you get from doing something like this?
Everybody that buys something from me, I tell them, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate your support. It's not just, of course, it's about the dollar, but it's about the experience and just legitimately making that person happy. My goal is to expand and have other stores the next few years where maybe there's an all city in Queens, like, who knows, or other versions of the store. It takes up all my time between the kids and the store, and I have a job actually still, so I have 18-hour days, 16 to 18-hour days, not complaining at all, because what else would I be doing? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? What am I going to do? My 9 to 5, make dinner, and then at 7 be like, let me lay on the sofa, watch some TV? I don't want to do that. You know, I can do that when I'm old and incapable of doing what I'm doing now. When my back gives out, or my knee and my hip replacement, whatever the fuck goes on with me, dementia, which I always say I'm gonna have.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When all those things happen to me, and I have to have somebody reading a book of, like, the notebook of all the memories and the shit, so they can remind me of what I did in my life because I'm dumb. But I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, for now, I want to live it because I have that time where I'm gonna be incapable of doing it for whatever reason. So I'm just trying to go all out.
It'd be amazing if, you know, we kind of talk about this kind of often on the show, if more people thought this way, because, you know, it's like a very valuable lesson to understand that, like, one day you're going to be mad old, back giving out with dementia.
Incapable.
Literally incapable. And with the time you have now and the energy you have now, you could do so much with it. We were saying it before, we got cell phones. You could do so much. Like, how many people could find out about All City or whatever it is you're doing? It might not be All City. Maybe your thing is like you build furniture or whatever it is you do. And just with a cell phone and you talking about it on video or you posting about it, so many people could find out. You could essentially do so much with this time that you have.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, for them...
Waste it.
No, for real.
And they complain. Like, I'm sure, I mean, you're in your 20s. You're tired, right?
Mm-hmm.
But imagine in 20 years from now how tired you're going to be. And then how much less you're going to be able to do. So why not just do as much as you can? Push yourself. Just keep pushing yourself and push yourself. It all sounds corny. All sounds like I'm some inspirational chick that, fucking... But it's all true. You know what I'm saying? It's just, why waste the time you have? Why go to work, come home, and just be like, let me watch TV, or my back hurts, I'm tired. Nigga, I'm always tired too.
Yeah.
You know, who the fuck's not tired?
But you could a big problem with that is like, it's based off the company that you keep. Because you could compare yourself. It's so easy to just subconsciously compare yourself to the friends around you. Let's say, like, you're a graph writer and you're listening to this, and maybe you feel like you're good money because all your friends are legitimately doing nothing at this point. So you're like, yo, I'm good, because you're comparing yourselves to that. So I'm
better than him because
at least I
make 50 instead of 40. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm in a better position than him.
Yeah.
But why not strive for 80 or 90?
Or maybe it's not even about having a better position than him. It's like, don't you want to just live to your potential?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure, like, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, everyone has their own, like, preconceived notions of themselves. Like, oh, I'm just stupid. Or, oh, I'm just, I couldn't do that.
Right.
Yo, you literally could.
Right.
I could learn anything right now with YouTube.
Right.
And then straight up open All City myself.
Yeah.
Or some shit like that, you know what
Especially
I mean?
with phones. I mean, they're pros and cons because everybody's stuck on them all the time. But if you use it for the right reasons, like looking up information or looking up how to do something, and I'm not a big technology person at all, but use the tools around you to get where you got to go. Mm-hmm. Because do you really want to be 60 living in one room somewhere with a TV and that's it?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
And, like, I read somewhere it was saying how, like, there's more information now to a regular human being at the tip of our fingers available than there was to the richest person ever. Let's say, like, 300 years ago. Yeah. You could have been the king of Egypt.
It's actually overwhelming, the amount of information that we have at our fingertips. It's overwhelming to understand or to know that you can literally figure out anything. Like, how many times is something, I don't know how to change a bulb in my microwave. What if you Google it? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no excuse not to get anything done anymore. Google it.
And the crazy part is like, you're right. It is overwhelming how much info we have and how not used it is by so many. It's like
or used for the wrong reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Can you be on your phone all day looking at social media and not learning dick? Yeah. Dick or jick. Not learning dick or jack. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course you can. But I don't know. I mean, I've done it. I'll spend, before I know it, it's like, damn, 2 hours went by. I'm like, I'm still on my phone looking at pictures of dumb shit, you know? But everybody gets caught up. Not a bad thing, but it's just, I'm just trying to leave more. I'm just trying to do more and really just be happy. That's just, I love being busy and I like being happy. Giggling, laughing, like full stomach, full laughter. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like in my belly, like, like snorting shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll just be like, snorting.
Nah, like it goes back to what I was saying about like my job and shit. Like it breaks my heart seeing these people like
How old are they?
deteriorate. Like I work with like ranging from like 30 to 50 to 60 even.
And they're tired.
Yo, and not only are they tired, but like when they get home, they're like yo, I hate my wife, I hate my kids. Like,
Yeah.
they're just miserable.
They're
And
the
like,
ones that when you're driving home, you still see them sitting in their car, taking that like 10 minutes of breath because they're like, now I gotta go in there and deal with this bitch.
I can't. Yo.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to do anything like that. And I'm like I said, I'm someone that's hard to make change happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know I sound like this motivational inspiration, but it's like for me to change something, even if it's not the best thing, it's not easy for anybody to do. But I don't want to be the person sitting in the car, you know, like not wanting to walk in my door. I don't want to be the person who's, you know, arguing with somebody, texting them for hours because we're beefing with each other, we're arguing, we're not getting along, boyfriend. Like I don't want to do it. It's just before you know it, 3 months went by, 6 months went by. Was it really worth doing that? Easier said than done. I'm not saying I'm there now even, you know, it's just like, but you gotta just keep it going.
Yeah, and it's amazing because I do talk to some of these people, and like in their childhood they had amazing talents. Like some dude could have been like a professional gymnast, or like some like making like knives or whatever. Like they had amazing things going on, and like
we all have that fork in the road, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it happens like around, and sorry to interrupt you, like around 12, where it's like, because I was talking about this the other day too, like I was an ice skater. I was a fantastic flips, turns, practicing every day. Like I should have been a professional. And then at 12, it's like, boys? You know what I'm saying? Like boys exist. I'm like, you know, next thing you know, I'm just like, fuck ice skating. But it's like, you know, we kind of, there's that fork in the road, and not just with anything in life, like even trying that drug, you know what I'm saying? Like that moment when you're hanging out with your friends and it's like, take that. And it's like, but some of us said, yeah. And here you are 10 years later and you're fucked up in the game because of that one split decision that you could have made differently. Yeah. You know, maybe your coworker who's in their 60s now, looking back, I bet you there's a moment when they're like, I could have made this decision and I wouldn't be here right now with this bitch and this job.
No,
and these fucking kids who don't even like me.
The scariest thing is like living with regret at that age.
Yeah, because
you know, like
at 60 you can't do anything.
No, it's sad because like you can't deny you're physically deteriorated pretty much.
What are you gonna catch a chick and have sex in 60 something? Yeah. That's not gonna be a cute picture. Well, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a fly on that wall.
There's like this like thing that I've heard. It was like if there's a boat going like this way. And then there's another boat right next to it, and it just goes that way, like slightly 2 degrees to the right.
It ends up
in 10 years. They're gonna be in totally different scenarios. And like talking about the fork in the road in life, if one person does this, the other person just does 2 degrees that way. You don't even know what that is going to lead to. It's gonna be drastically different.
Think about that. Like I'm sure, I can't complain about my life. I really honestly, like of course there's a couple things I could be like, ugh. But overall, there aren't that many major decisions where I'm like, but think about, like, what made that person do that? This is where they are to this moment. Why they're at this moment now. Like, maybe what made them smoke that crack? You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you do that at that moment? Your life changed, and you can never go back from that. You know what I'm saying? Or, like, what made that person, you know, catch that tag? Maybe it was, you know, the worst place ever, or maybe they went over somebody. Like their graph career is shit now because they did that one wrong thing over that one wrong person, and that person's gonna fucking humiliate or abuse them for their, you know what I'm saying? Like there's that one moment that's so life changing. Yeah. Even like you guys doing this, there was that moment where you decided to do it. Had you not, you wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have met you. Where would you be right now? Where I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, who knows? It's really crazy to think about. And you know what it is? It's like an accumulation of experiences that will lead up to. So that one moment in the fork in the road, that one moment, it seems like it's one moment. I see it as like the difference between someone choosing, let's say, like, I'm going to smoke this crack, or I'm going to not, or I'm going to go over this person, or I'm going to not. It's not just like in that one moment. They like, it's like so many accumulated experience of like where they come from, the house they grew up in, their father, their mother, what happened that morning. Yep, we know what happened that morning. Like anything, like what happened yesterday that changed their mood ever so slightly. All these things that are like kind of out of their control are shaping their mind. So in that moment when you're deciding like, I'm going to do this, in your mind you have that free will of like, I'm choosing to do this. But really like a lot of shit has led up to you like thinking you're choosing to do this yourself. But really like that dude who punched you in the face yesterday, who has you angry now still subconsciously, and you're like, screw, I'm gonna go right over this because of that dude yesterday. Yeah. You think you got that free will, but in reality, like, it's also because of this. You know what I mean? There is like a huge like a thing like pushing you in that direction.
Well, even like think about like a few months ago, before the pandemic, so let's just say a year ago, I was tired coming home from work, sat on the train. There was like a big, chunky person, a chick here, skinny one here. I was just exhausted, so I squeezed my fat ass into this little spot. The bitch next to me, can I tell you, she abused me for like 5 or 10 minutes verbally. You too fat, you too fucking this, you too that. Me, anybody who knows me was like, you didn't spaz out. I was like, it was just a day where I was just not in the mood. I didn't want to deal with it. And I said to her, and I even said to her, I'm like, yo, had this been a few years ago, I would have fucking punched you in your face. Had this been another day, bitch, please, just shut the fuck up. Mm-hmm. But it was all about the day. You know what I'm saying? Had it been a day maybe where my boss barked at me, or maybe I got a ticket, or maybe, you know, something where everything, as like to your point, built up, and she was just like the wrong person to fuck with me at the wrong time, and I let her have it. It's all about these moments. And what if it was that moment and I felt like I spazzed on her? Then what happens? Then we're going to start scuffling, then I get arrested. You know what I'm saying? Because I end up on World Star. The fucking World Star. There's Jakee over there spazzing on some bitch on the train. Like, who wants that to happen? But like you said, it's about the moments leading up to that. Yeah. I probably had a decent day. I was in a quiet mood, and she lucked out.
Yeah, and you never know what she went through.
Exactly.
Because like I was actually just listening to this podcast this morning, and he was talking about, it was like some dude who's like an MMA fighter, and he teaches at a gym. He's like a legit like killer, and he was walking down the street, and some dude started trying to pick a fight with him or whatever because they bumped into each other.
Wrong guy.
And the MMA fighter was like, you know, sorry, like I don't want any part of this, whatever. Like a month later, same dude walks into the gym to start learning MMA, and he sees the dude who he tried to pick a fight with, but the MMA fighter didn't recognize him. The dude came up to him after class. He's like, "Do you remember me?" And then the MMA fighter was like, "Nah." And then he was like, "Yo, that was me that day. Like, thank you for not hurting me." And then the dude was just like, "Oh, like blah blah blah." And then he's like, but the MMA fighter was like, "Why were you so angry or whatever?" And the dude was like, "My dad died like that morning."
See?
And then like we brushed past each other, and you don't know what.
Right.
In your mind, you're like, "This dickhead, I'm gonna smoke him now."
Yeah.
Yo, his dad just passed away. We don't know.
Right.
And there's always a reason that they're that angry. No one just wakes up like, "I'm gonna be angry today." Either you're mentally unstable or like you have a shitty life.
Right.
So when you see someone
or somebody gave you a shitty day, you know what I'm saying? Like, it could be your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend just beefing for no fucking reason, gets you to a place where it's like the next person who attacks you for no reason, you're going to spaz on them because of all the hostility that you're fostering. You know? But to your point, that is a good point. It could be like it's both sides.
We have no idea what they went through.
No.
And when you look back on it in hindsight, if you did act on however you felt like acting that will make you feel good in that moment, you might feel like shit.
Yeah. Like, why did I do that? I don't want regrets.
You know what I'm saying?
We already have enough regrets on our own decisions that we make. You know what I'm saying? Like, why have regrets on a decision based on somebody poking you? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I have regrets of decisions that I could have, again, like, not forking the roads because that's extreme, but like just basic decisions. Like, why did I do that? Or why did I say that to that person? Like, those are regrets. Why did I get drunk and fucking act a fool, which are the worst regrets I have? You know, like, but, you know what I'm saying? Like, we already have our own regrets. Why take somebody else's and elevate it and make it such a big thing?
Absolutely. How did you think about making the stickers outside of, like, out of your shop? So you're making I saw that you had like printing machines to be able to make vinyl stickers, eggshell stickers straight out of your shop. How did you think of that idea, and what is your plan on that? Like, you're gonna straight up take orders, online orders, or how's it gonna be?
So again, I'm all about stickers. I think there's lots of different graph writers. I think there's sticker writers, there's sticker graffiti, there's marker graffiti. Like, there's just different levels and aspects of graph. I've decided the last 6-ish years to do eggshell stickers. I have sexy Jakee stickers. I got tired of waiting for them. I got tired of, you know, placing an order and literally being on top of this person for fucking weeks. And
air them out. Who? No. Where did you get this from?
I'm not gonna do it, but she knows who she, and I, you know what I'm saying, she.
Because I probably had the same experience with the same person.
Dude, and I'm a pushy person because I'm in sales. So this is me being on top of this person. And it still took like 2 months where I went to Art Basel, didn't have them. I'm over here walking the streets, don't have them. So again, great work. But I just got tired of waiting 2 months and putting friends on that are waiting 3 and 4 months for fucking something that literally takes a couple of hours to do. So that's really why I got tired of being the customer on the other end, having to wait so long, waiting for shipping, or time differences if you're going to another country. This way, you just send us the PDF, give us the information, and the goal would hopefully be to be able to turn it around in a couple of days. And I would think that would be extreme.
That would be people would be.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
You'd be the number one go-to.
No,
I
you'd be the
mean-
only person really doing that.
And that's the thing too. That's what I'm telling you, like about filling niches that I'm again not competing with other people, doing something that they don't do. But that would be the goal, to hopefully be able to get somebody their order within a few days. I would think at least a week. I can't. It doesn't take long.
Yeah.
So we should be up and running with stickers by the time you guys drop this.
Oh,
That's amazing.
sick.
That's the goal.
How did you learn about making these? Is it difficult? It's probably not that hard, right?
I have to be honest. My brother's gonna be the one that's doing it in the beginning. We were both trained for it. He's really the one that's kind of messing with it. I'm the older one, so he's the younger, a little bit more, technologically.
Tech savvy.
Yeah, a little bit. Not much. Sorry, already, but that's the goal. How can I be somebody who calls themselves one of the sticker people if I'm not providing that product for somebody? It's like not selling mean streaks. I'm a mean streak person. It's like I feel like if I'm gonna be about something, I should offer it to my customers. So that's really why I just got tired of waiting.
So somebody can come into your shop and they can sit down also with you, like in front of a computer, and decide like what colors, what design.
I mean, it shouldn't be that hard, to be honest with you. Like
Yeah.
my stickers are pretty simple, like Sexy Jakee. So I never sat with her to do it, but I was like 4x4, black, pink letters, eggshell. It's not that hard. You know what I'm saying? But to your point, like if it's a business, because what I also had to learn after opening this business, that machine is not going to just be available or for graffiti writers only. It should be for businesses. It could be for street teams, trying to promote something. It could be for anything, decals on the side of a cab or, whatever it is. But it should be simple enough where it's emailed. If it has to be like sit down with somebody and work on it, that shouldn't be a problem. Because as you saw in the store, we have like a whole little area for it, a station for it.
No, I think the time efficiency will definitely raise you above like the competition in a way, because essentially people are so used to right now with like all this Amazon Prime shit going on. Like
Quick.
You could have anything you want.
Especially living in New York.
2 days. Yeah.
Especially living in New York. New Yorkers want immediate gratification. We want to be satisfied immediately.
Yeah.
Think about how we used to wait outside and hail a yellow cab. Now we have Uber. Like, we don't want to wait as New Yorkers anymore for anything. I think more as New Yorkers than any other state.
Yeah.
We have 24-hour delivery in some instances. Like, we're used to things that a place like Iowa isn't used to, because we can literally, not to shit on Iowa, but you know what I'm saying.
I feel like Iowa's gotten shit on this show a few times.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I said-
Well, even PA, like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. All these other states, we're used to just getting our shit immediately with delivery services at all times. Same day, everything. So I'm a New Yorker and I want my shit when I want it. I don't want to wait a month or 2 months, especially for something that doesn't take that long. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it had to be shipped from a country on a boat.
And the machine is doing it.
The machine
You probably click some buttons and the machine
and it
does
just
the whole
prints
thing.
it out. I think the hardest part really is just about getting, if it's something more difficult than something as simple as mine, but if it's a more difficult sticker, of course it takes a little bit more finessing on the programming ends.
Yeah.
But it's not brain. So it's not brain science.
Yeah.
No.
You want to like
rocket
also it's cool
You know what
because
I'm
you want to
saying.
like provide the service or product that you're providing at an affordable price and something the person wants to buy.
Right.
So I feel like a lot of people think of business as this like, I'm stealing from you thing. Like, I'll take your money and like go away. That's that. But like, especially with something, let's say like the sticker business or if you're just even opening up a graph shop, like
these all things that I personally believe in. Like, I love mops, drips, and why
and
not
they're
do
getting
that?
something in return. Like, they're choosing to give you something and you are choosing to give them something in return.
Right.
They don't have to go to your shop. Like, they're going to choose your shop if this is like the best case scenario. There's competition, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it'd be different if it was in Iowa. There's like, how many graph shops are there? Probably
Right.
none. So if you opened it, every writer's going to come to you. You don't have to provide, let's say, the best service.
Right.
But here it's like there's a good amount of them, probably more than like any other city. So
Right.
you better be making sure that you're satisfying the customer's needs, because if not, they're just going to go.
You got to give them something that they can't get from somebody else.
Yep.
You know? and quickly, especially with what's going on in the world. We're so limited because of COVID. We can't get certain things or can't go certain places. So what we are able to do, we want it done quickly. We want it done right, and we don't want it to bust our pockets either. Because money being as tight as it is and everything that's going on.
So opening up like a graph shop, you ever thought about like the future spotlight, like through like Vandal Squad or cops? Like, have you ever thought that like that attention of kind of
No.
That never really came through mind?
I just don't even.
Because there's that talk about scrapyard,
Yeah.
how like they would follow people out of the store, like watch if they hit something,
like I'm providing a service to everybody who has this inner creativity in them. If whatever they're doing with the items they buy from my store, I'm not responsible for whatever they do. Whatever they do when they leave the store with whatever item they bought, that's up to them. Yeah. They can use spray paint for anything. You know what I'm saying? You can come in here and do a mural on the wall. It doesn't have to be for any specific reason. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm not doing anything wrong. My store is not doing anything wrong. Vandal Squad is more than welcome to come.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening that shouldn't be happening. We even make it a point to buff the pole in the corner because, there's no attention necessary to be brought here. It's just we're legitimate business doing legitimate things. So
yeah, no, it's funny. It's funny because
even got the Vandal Squad book. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's just funny because like you could be like, no, I know you sell more than just like spray paint or like ultra wides or whatever. But he's like, you could use this ultra wide to do anything.
Anything, especially what I'm saying. Especially with what's going on now, people are just doing anything. I have people coming in and using spray paint for their clothes. Legitimately, people buy spray paint to spray their clothes.
Yeah. Like paint their bike or whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like,
so,
but
I'm not responsible. It's
although it does sound kind of crazy because it's like, we know what we're gonna do with this ultra wide. At the same time, like, go to Home Depot and go to the section where they have hammers and machetes and like crazy shit you can put in your pocket. It's like it's literally like you could choose to use this for even like a gallon of oil.
Yep.
That you buy to cook vegetables.
Dude, even detergent. I could throw that on somebody's car and fuck up their whole paint job.
Yeah, it is true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't stop anything. We could take this glass mug and smash somebody's head with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anything we buy, anything we do has a risk or has a different way of using it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I said, they're welcome. There's nothing ill will happening here.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
What do you have planned for the future for this shop and your life in general?
Just to grow and build more stores down the line. Just grow and learn new things. And I'm even interested in seeing what the store looks like next year, because even last month I didn't have certain things that I have now where I'm like, wow, I thought of doing that and now it's actually happening. But I'm interested in even seeing what the store is about next year, because who knows what's gonna come in my way that's gonna make it even better. What's gonna fall in my lap? What ideas are gonna happen? Somebody came to the store today with an idea about, graph writers. Actually, it was Rhino came to the store today with an idea where, as graffiti writers, how many times do you want somebody to mail you something, but you don't want to give out your address? You know what I'm saying? I had a P.O. box for a couple of years because I was like, not my address. So, maybe using the store as a P.O. box for people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to have another writer send you something, or you want to mail that writer something, but you have no return address that's usable. All right, use the store. You know what I'm saying? So somehow use that as a service to people. So there's just so many different things that, so many different ideas, you know what I'm saying, that are out there that have to be touched and channeled. Mm-hmm. So that's something else. Even pins, pins are popping. Everybody's about them. Another thing I want to do is be the liaison, where it's like, yeah, you want a pin, but you don't want to go through the hassle of finding the company or talking to them if it's overseas at different hours and the logistics and the talking. Jakee, just take care of it. This is the pin I want. Make it happen. Okay. So that's something else I want to work on. Just like, little things that you don't think about. So I want to grow and become, change just sounds corny, but I want to have locations. Mm-hmm. I want to have more locations, different all cities, doing different things. It doesn't all have to be the same store in different places, but it could be a spin-off of this store doing the same but different, and catering to other people in places that don't have what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm
Oh,
excited to see everything you're doing.
You guys are gonna go along for the
It's
ride, right?
amazing.
Yeah. I'm gonna be stopping by and seeing everything that you're up to.
100%.
It's gonna be an adventure that new chapter in my life, and just enjoy it.
No,
And I want to take all my people with me.
I think
you
with
know?
your mindset, you can achieve like all of that. Honestly,
Absolutely, yeah.
100%.
Well, it's just like if you say it, don't you have like don't you heard don't put it in the air, because it might happen. Like, damn, I hope I don't hit my car, or damn. But if you say positive things, don't you see that sometimes those things actually happen?
Yeah, they
You know what I mean?
manifest into reality.
Exactly.
100%.
That's exactly the words to use. I'm just about positivity and taking everybody around me with me. If we can, like, state your name.
Mm-hmm.
That was something Scuff and I talked about in November, that wasn't an option in their minds, and then became an option. And within 2 months, it dropped, and it sold within a couple of weeks, which is absolutely amazing. That 200 copies. Today was the last one sold. Like, that's an achievement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We were able to give something back to Graph that hasn't been here for 16 years. I have my original copy, but a lot of people don't or haven't seen it, and we were able to give that back to Graph. I want to give back to Graph. I want to give back to Graph,
Mm-hmm.
because it gave me memories, it gave me friends, it gave me good times, and I want to give that to everybody who hasn't had it, because it doesn't always have to be negative.
Mm-hmm.
Of course you're going to be fucked up. You're going to meet fucked up people. You're going to be a fucked up person, but it doesn't always have to be that way. Just opening doors for people and watching them shine.
Respect.
We're all going to shine. We're going to shine together, fellas. We're going to come do this in a couple of years, and we're going to talk about this or replay this and be like, look at us now. Look where you guys are now. Look where I'm at now.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, we have a lot.
I'm sure
of
you're
good things.
gonna do so many. You have like a lot of ideas in mind, aside from just like, I'm gonna open a graph shop and sell paint.
No,
And it's like I don't have a business plan. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't like, I have to present the bank with all this financial shit. I literally was just like, as long as I make this much money a day, I can stay in business. That's all that matters. I'm not trying to get rich off of it. I'm just trying to have a decent life and provide.
Anybody want to shout out?
I kind of mentioned a lot of names throughout.
No, yeah.
I want to thank OJ a lot, because he literally built every fixture in the store. You saw like everything we have, he built along with Judy. My brother's been very helpful. Thank God for him. And pretty much everybody else that I mentioned throughout the interview has been either helpful or instrumental in making the process happen, like either bouncing ideas off of them or providing ideas. You know what I'm saying? Like the mop bar was a really creative, genius idea of Elsa's that the whole community is going to benefit from and enjoy. So, thank you guys for having me. Thanks for being patient.
No, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Waiting for me to get this happen, but like I said, this is we're all gonna strive. We're all gonna succeed off this in some way or another.
Really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah,
honestly.
me too.
I think,
honestly, everybody who's listening, your shop is fully open.
7 days a week.
7 days a week.
All City _Legends on Instagram. Website will be is gonna start being worked on. Just everything gotta happen in stages, but we're gonna get there.
You got clothes. You got a good selection of paint. You have a bunch of markers, like all the main ones that anybody could want. You have caps. You have like really cool graffiti books,
sketchbooks,
like all that stuff. Then you have like the mops that you can make. So,
and I'm always interested in even carrying people's stuff, pins. So I don't always have to reach out to you. You can reach out to me, ask if I'm interested. Even canvases on the wall. I have like people dropping off canvases just to put up for display. Some are for sale, some aren't, but like a couple of them weren't even writers, just like wanting their art up in the store. Just the store is completely open for ideas. So just, hit the DM, come by, pop in, ask questions, call, not my cell phone, call the store phone. Let's make things happen for everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yay!
Peace.